Basically, I have these tile marked right now. Essentially, the way it works out is this little square here is I can dig anywhere within this square, and it will take me down into the tunnel. So from here, you would just use your spade. Boom. Dharok hits with melee. What you want to do is pray melee. From there, you basically just sit here if you have prayer. Now, the Gommel's Hilt is something that is also very important. You don't have to have it, but if you don't have it, your prayer is going to be drained. So this requires medium in combat achievements. So if you can get that, it'll make Barrows super, super easy. Again, you don't necessarily need it. Second, I like to come over here to Ahrim's. Ahrim's is the magic brother, so you are just going to pray magic. And like you can see from this guy here, you don't need the Twinflame staff. However, the Twinflame staff is going to be a little bit faster than using a normal staff, even though the normal staff hits a little bit faster. So second, I like to go to Ahrim's just because it's right in the center. It is right next to where we start at Dharok's. Third, I go down to Varric because from here, you basically circle around. Again, you dig to get into the tunnels, you search the sarcophagus, and then a brother will spawn. And Twinflame staff is very good. If you watch the end of my last video, I did a brief test here as well, so you kind of got to see a little bit of it. But I have AFK'd a lot more Barrows since then, and it has been a great time. At this point, I don't even switch to range or melee at all anymore, just because, like I said, I can just AFK. I don't need to be paying super close attention. So you will end up at one of the brothers' sarcophagus on each run that will have the hidden tunnel. Basically, you do not want to enter that until you have killed all of the brothers. The only way that you get the opportunity to get loot from the brothers is if you actually kill them. So you want to kill all 6. You don't have to. So like, for example, if you just want like Carol's loot, you could just kill Carol's, find the tunnel, and go loot the chest. You can kind of rush it that way. But if you want potential to get any sort of loot at all, then you just want to kill all 6. So last one is going to be Guthan's here. Again, Twinflame staff really speeds this up a lot. And the new bosses are just fun. Just fun in general. You guys enjoying the new bosses? I think it's just fun. If I ever made a new Ironman, like that would be that and Moons I'd do around the same time and just unlock so many things in the mid game. It just makes a lot of sense. So here we go. Should be maybe one more hit. And as you can see, like, I'm using the Moon's Top with my Ahrim's. Like, that's how good it is for it being like a mid edging towards endgame boss. It's very solid. Alright, so then we go back to the tunnel. We go down the tunnel. Yes, I'm fearless. Now from here, if you got the Barrows potential plugin, like I mentioned before, and you have it configured to killing all 6 brothers and skeletons and bloodworms, it'll tell you exactly how many of each you need to kill. Now, sometimes when you come down here, there's not going to be any enemies. When you go through any of these doors, it will force a spawn. So when I walk through here, boom, a bloodworm spawned. It's not always going to be a bloodworm. Sometimes it's a skeleton. But what I like to do to make sure that I get the kills that I want is I'll just walk back and forth between these doors and force spawn the skeletons and the bloodworms. So usually I just kill one bloodworm. I don't need another bloodworm. So we'll walk back through the door. There's a skeleton. Now, each time you go through the door, there is the chance that the Barrows brother will spawn. So be careful of that, because that means you have to turn your prayer on. Or if you're not using prayer, that means that you need to be in a better spot. Spawning him in this location wouldn't be good. So go back through. So there's the brother there. Now, the cool thing with this is all of these rooms count as ladder rooms. Even if the ladder isn't here, like, you could mark this tile. You can actually use this as a safe spot. You just turn on run, boom, and then you don't have to pray at all. All 4 corners, even if the ladder is invisible, it counts as the ladder being there. You can always use it as a safe spot. So there we go. We will force spawn a skeleton there. And we already have the Barrows brother. So now I believe the other plugin, the one that shows you all of the doors, is, let me check that for you. Barrows Door Highlighter is the plugin. Again, that makes it super easy. It highlights the one you can go through. So, for example, you have to go through the green ones. You can't go through the red ones at all unless you have the strange lockpick, which you get from the Hollow Sepulcher. But you would just run through once you have all your kills, run all the way through. Once you get to the door here, you do have to be kind of quick. It'll solve the puzzle for you. The I believe it's called the Barrows Brothers plugin that will solve that puzzle for you. And if you hadn't killed the Barrow Brother yet, as soon as you open the chest, it would spawn. And then you just search your chest. Boom, you get a bunch of loot. You teleport out, and you go again. Now, you could run back out and grab a ladder and go back to the top that way. You do take a little bit of damage as you're sitting down there for longer periods of time. If you have a quick way back, then I recommend just teleporting out. If you don't, then you should probably just go back. Man, I've been super AFKing Barrows. I want at least one unique before I leave here. One, and then I'll move on to something else. Well, I finally got something, so I'm not just completely dry, but it is a dupe. Do we go for another unique? I think we do. That's at 230. Let's go for another unique. We need something that we haven't gotten before. No way I get another dupe. There's no way. Hold on. Let me see this. Look at this. Just dupes. Just dupes. No. I learned that this spell destroys them here with the staff. Basically a 45 hit there. 6, obviously not too good. But I hit like a 36 and a 16. Basically 52 damage on one hit with magic. Like, for some of these things with elemental weakness, this thing is really good. Like, shadow level good. It's pretty insane. Ooh, we got the Ahrim's hood. Nice. That was one of the things I actually wanted. I really just need like the top now. No, it's actually really nice to have a Ahrim's hood for like a mage hood. That's pretty good. Now, one thing I will say is the Twinflame staff is definitely fun to play with in general. But if you're already far enough into the game where you have a Trident, I do think that the Trident outpaces the Twinflame staff here at Barrows. It's a little bit quicker, but not by too much. Most DPS calculators I plugged it into, you're looking at like maybe a 1 second difference as far as clear times, so it doesn't make a huge difference. Plus, it's so much more fun shooting 2 of these. Now, I will say, if you are somebody in the early to mid game of your Ironman and you don't have a Trident and you're just using like Ibans, I would probably recommend going and doing Royal Titans, just because you should be able to find somebody that can help you with them and hopefully get this staff pretty quick. I do think for early game and mid game, it is a game changer for sure. Now, obviously, this entire video, I was using the wave spells, but you don't have to use the wave spells for it to be good. Now, I would probably use blast spells, or I would use bolt spells, probably blast spells for it to be actually pretty decent, but you'll make all of your runes back and effectively do Barrows for free. So, definitely worth it to bring this staff and to get this staff. I do think everybody should do Royal Titans in general, just because if you're a mid-game Ironman, even going into the end game and you haven't started raiding, those prayer scrolls are going to be huge for you. So definitely worth doing that. And if you get the staff along the way, it's going to be awesome at Barrows. It's going to be awesome at some other places. So hopefully this gave you some insight on how decent it can actually be. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If so, drop a sub, drop a like, drop a comment. Hopefully next video we'll be getting into some more fun things. Probably hunting some Zenites, I'm thinking.